A brief history of Bitcoin. So as the stock markets crash, crypto crashes, and the world is full of economic turmoil, let's look at Bitcoin's past to try to make sense of what Bitcoin could hold in the future. Bitcoin was created out of the turmoil of the 2008 Great Recession as distrust of banks and their role in the financial system grew. An individual or a group of people going by the name Satoshi Nakamoto issued a white paper to address the centralized control of money and the trust required in handling citizens' cash. So what does that mean today? Now let's jump over to Bitcoin's monthly chart, and this video is going to be all about looking at Bitcoin's past run-ups and pullbacks, and how it also relates to the stock market, and why anybody out there who wants Bitcoin to fail, well, maybe that was something you could get away with a number of years ago, but now with Bitcoin and the stock market being so tied together, you might not want to be on the side hoping for Bitcoin's failure, because if you are, guess what else will fail too? The stock market. Okay, now let's get into this. Like I was saying, this is Bitcoin's monthly chart, and we've had some in the past. Bitcoin was really cheap. Like Bitcoin's been around for 13 years, and it was selling, at a fraction of a penny when it started. And it pumped up here in roughly 2017, December 2017, and then pulled back in, had another run up in 2019, pulled back in March 2020. Here is when pandemic kicked off, and yeah, it pulled in that month. And since then, it's been on a tear, pull in, another tear, and now we're at another pullback. And we're wondering, how low can Bitcoin go? So today we're at 31,000 for one Bitcoin, 31,000 US dollars. And to give you an overview of where we stand today, today is May 9th, 2022. So we'll jump over here. Please subscribe to Crypto Housewife. I love crypto, and I have tons of cryptocurrency videos. Okay, S&P 500, another bloodbath in the stock market. Almost everything is in the red. And we get over to the heat map for crypto, another red day. Things are down. Ethereum is down almost 8%, just like Bitcoin. And Cardano is down to 64 cents. Surprising there. I thought it would hold 70, but what can we do? Now, crypto fear and greed index, extreme fear now. So we were pretty fearful here the other day, and now we're at extreme fear. All right. So let's jump over to the S&P 500. So here is a brief history of the S&P 500. So I'm only going back. I want to specifically go back to around here, February, excuse me, 2000. Now, what I'm looking at here is the cycle where it pulls back in. How long do we pull back in for? How many years could a dump last for, a market pullback? And let me tell you, it could last, right here, it lasted 3 years, this one here. So from 2000 to roughly 2003, a 3-year pullback. Here we are now. So one candle equals 1 month. How low can we go? How low can we continue to go? Because we have some issues going on right now. I don't really need to go all over them. We have the war, Russia, Ukraine. We have interest rates, and the big one, inflation. So how much are we going to pull back in? What will signal us? And here's really one of the key things about this video. What will be the signal that we're going to turn around and start to roll and go the other direction back up? Also, going back up, meaning Bitcoin also going back up. And why I was saying that it's probably a bad idea to hope that Bitcoin crashes. Like all the people out there who are saying, oh, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, Bitcoin's this, that. Well, guess what? Lately, especially the past year, institutional traders from, Wall Street have gotten in on Bitcoin, and that they consider it an asset class now. And guess what happens? They're going to treat it the way they treat stocks. When it's time to sell, they will sell and it will go down. So if you're rooting for Bitcoin to crash, guess what? It'll be the institutional traders dumping it along with stock. Yeah, stock. And guess what will go down? Well, maybe your pension fund, maybe your savings in the stock market. So hoping Bitcoin crashes, well, is the hope that the whole stock market crashes now. The whole thing has changed. And I do believe that Wall Street getting on Bitcoin is a good thing. It's a very good thing, because if they're in it, boy, they can make things go up too. So now this is financial advice. Do what you want with your money. I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot predict the future. But today I want to just look at the past to try to get a grasp on what could happen. So, okay. Getting back to the SPY, the S&P 500. So we had a major pullback here, another one, and now we are in one. But I think we have to admit that the past, since the pandemic started, we had a pretty steep run up with no pullbacks, no serious, well, right here a little bit, but nothing serious until we got, let's say December, January 2022. That's when things kind of changed. But what happened before that? Well, what happened before that over here? Here's what happened. We ran up, and then we go sideways. So I'm going to just go, see, this would be sideways. This would be sideways at the top, sideways. That's a signal saying, look out. So over here, what happened? Kind of went sideways. Then we got in a little bit more sideways here, and it dumped hard. So it is dumping hard. So what we're looking for and hoping for, so with the economy, is that the Fed says, okay, enough's enough. We think we have a handle on inflation. Obviously, we don't have a handle on inflation today. Just the embargoes on oil alone globally have not hit us yet. The result of that in terms of oil prices going up. So we're not there yet. So yeah, I think things could dump hard and for a while, but I don't think it's going to last forever, obviously. So we obviously are not going sideways yet. So I think we can still pull back in. Same with Bitcoin. I'm thinking Bitcoin could hit the $25,000 mark, maybe even 24, and something could happen then. But I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I kind of see it moving, pulling in a little bit more in the short run. This month, next month, I'm not sure, but I see it. To me, I think it could happen in the short run, the short term, along with the stock market too. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. There's still a lot of panic selling going on, and eventually there will be buybacks. Wall Street will be like, okay, stock is on sale. We don't think it's going to go lower, and also it'll go sideways, and that'll be a signal that we have our bottom. When it starts to go sideways. So we're not there yet. But we will be. We just gotta wait for it, eh? And it's a question of how many months, and hopefully not years, it'll take to turn around. So one of what I'm watching also for, looking out for, our interest rates. When will the Fed decide, okay, enough interest rate hikes, and then no interest rate hikes, and then interest rate drops? Now that is going to be a strong signal for the market to go up, in my opinion. So not financial advice. So that's what I'm doing here. In this brief history of Bitcoin, it's a brief history of its chart action, its ups and its downs. And so right now we're pulling in pretty good on the monthly, and let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait. Let's hope the interest rates get straightened out. Let's hope inflation gets straightened out, at least under control. And then we will see things go sideways and hopefully back up, because we won't stay down forever, right? So we'll see what happens there. So that's all I wanted to talk about, is how Bitcoin does move with the market now. It does. So if the market's going to, go up again, you can bet that good old Bitcoin could take a run at it too again. And if it does, look, its all-time high is 69,000 US. Bitcoin's all-time high. Its next kick of the can, it's going to want to break that. It's going to want to break that at some point. Not financial advice. I'm not saying run out and buy Bitcoin. I'm not saying run out, load up on stock yet. To me, the bottom is not here yet. There's going to be a lot of buying opportunities soon. So people who are running out and getting a second job, putting cash aside to buy the dip, to buy the bottom, that's where institutional traders are going to buy in. And that's where retail traders, like the little guys, the little people, the crypto traders, the day trade, the swing traders, people who are sitting at home managing their own portfolio, they're going to be buying, ideally, once we bottom and we go sideways, and then they start to go up. So in the meantime, it's a question of getting cash on the side, cash that people can afford to lose, and then go shopping then. I don't see it as a time quite yet to ape into anything, but I do see that I don't know, will it be next month? Will it be 6 months from now? I'm not sure. When we will hit our bottom when we'll hit our bottom, hit a bottom, and look right here, go sideways and then push up. So I don't think this is the bottom. So I think this is, the trend's your friend. I think we're still going down, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's it. That's all I have to say. So watch those interest rates when they start to go in reverse, start to drop. That's a very, very good signal for our market. That shows that the Feds also have kind of a hold on inflation. But then again, there's something also about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it's its own thing. Although Wall Street loves Bitcoin, anything is possible with Bitcoin. We don't know what country is going to ape into it next. There are so many factors that could make Bitcoin run up that I can't even list. While even though the stock market is going down, it's crazy like that. And plus Bitcoin being I'm going to call it a low float, which a low supply. Like I think there's only 19 million Bitcoins out there. So even when and if Bitcoin dumps, and if you can go and try to find out how many actual Bitcoins were sold, say if it dumps to 24,000, you're going to see not many Bitcoins actually changed hands. A lot of Bitcoin hodlers are in this for 10 years. Like they have a 10-year plan with Bitcoin. They see this as, let's see, I'll push this down to, I guess I can't. Push this down really low. They see Bitcoin going up here, and hitting the $100,000 line. That's what a lot of Bitcoin holders think. And then if it can hit 100,000, guess what? It could hit 200,000. So not financial advice. I'm just throwing numbers at you just to kind of make a point. So that's their long-term plan. Bitcoin holders, they're a little bit tougher than institutional traders. Institutional traders will try to get out and watch it fall down and then buy back in, whereas a lot of long-term holders will hold for 10 years. That's their plan. And they might even buy more when it's low, but they probably would not have sold off on the downs. Whereas Wall Street will sell off. They will. And thus this will pull back in. And that's a big difference. That's the game that we're playing now. A couple of years ago, there were no Bitcoin ETFs a couple of years ago, but there are now. So now we have the Wall Street traders who are kind of fickle. Like they will dump an asset real quick if the whole market starts to dump. And yeah, that's what they're doing. They're dumping stuff. So and then everybody else will get in. So yeah, that's what is going to happen again. How high Bitcoin will go? Some people on Wall Street think $1 million. Some think people are just looking more short term and saying, 75,000 will be our next target. And I see that as a target too. 75, break the all-time high. Well, 670 to break the all-time high. It's just a question of when. I don't know when, but I know one thing for certain. I don't believe we're at a bottom yet. I think we could pull back in, and that's when buying opportunities will be. A lot of people will make a lot of money Once the whole, even in the stock market, once this thing pulls in for real, like, and stops and turns around, there'll be people who will make a lot of money bottom feeding. People who bought here, like this is the kickoff of the 2020 pandemic. Way down here, look at that. And that did not happen overnight. That took a month, a good month to happen. That drop down took over a month actually, and then it started to pick up again. A lot of stimulus checks were in the mail. People were at home with a lot of time on their hands. They got into the stock market, and they always wanted to. Now they had a few $100s more, so they got into crypto, got into the markets, and then boom, a lot more liquidity, and this thing ran up, and profits were taken at the top. Plus, they started, institutional traders started taking profit. Of course they're going to take profit. They're not. That's not even. They started selling off here, and then they started selling off, and then boom, we have the war with Russia, and that kind of threw everybody for a loop. Nobody expected that. People were happy. Pandemic was looking like it might be over, and then boom, this big rush, this big war starting. So we are in for. I think we're in for a hard time for a while. But I'm not panicking about it. There's going to be buying opportunities coming up for real, and wait till it really bottoms, and wait for it to go sideways. And then volumes. Look at volumes, sell-offs. Red. Okay, this is the monthly. You can see a couple red candles, sell-offs, and just before this green one, we have a couple more red. Sell-offs. Once it turns around, we're going to see big spikes of green candles month after month. See month after month turned around, and here too, month after month turned around, and up we go. So the volume indicators are very important, and the color of them, green means they're bullish, red means everybody wants to bail in the past couple months, and that's what's going on. People want to bail out, but that's not going to last forever. So we only have chunks of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good 5, 6 red months in a row, and then it goes green. I'd have to really count, but it doesn't last forever. But like I say, a pullback could last for years. It really could. So are we getting into something where we're going to pull back for years? I don't know. But there is one thing positive that I see in this chart, and I kind of saving it for last, and it has to do with the pullbacks. You look at this pullback here. It lasted 3 years, but it was more of a gradual pullback. This pullback here did not last for 3 years. It lasted maybe 2. And look, it's steeper. The pullback is steeper. So it was a shorter duration. This was a steep pullback. This was, whoop, hey, we're in a pandemic. Boom, down and up. And then we're right back up, going up. This blew my mind. I thought the market was dumping and was going to just go right down. But no, it turned right around. So during this pullback, I'm asking myself, how steep is this? If it's really steep, it may not last as long. And to me, this looks steep. It looks like a steep pullback that might recover sooner than later. My guess, my prediction is that this won't be a 3-year pullback because of the steepness of it. But I don't know. But the steepness also, we were really overextended. We had a big run up. So we'll see what happens. That's just my 2 cents. That's my kind of looking at this with rose-colored glasses on. And we have kind of a steep pullback. We might have a faster rebound. So that's it. I don't really have anything more to say about it. And brief history of Bitcoin. Hope that helped you guys calm your nerves a little bit. But yeah, we're in for some doom and gloom for a while, and wait for it to go sideways, and then we'll be off to the races again. So also what I think here is this is going to be a steep pullback, but one that springs back a little bit faster than, say, this one here. So that's it. Subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.